All right, hi everybody, I'm Dr. Benson. Today's video is about nutrition essentials. These are the essential changes when it comes to improving your health that you have to be making with nutrition. So we're gonna dive in today and we're gonna cover this in about 30 minutes. I'm gonna hit as much as I can when it comes to cleaning up your nutrition. So we have to look at each essential of our health. So most of you guys watching this video, you guys are patients in our office and you're getting that first essential, which is chiropractic care. You're getting your body better from the inside, strengthening up your brain-body connection and improving your nervous system. But we have to look at nutrition because if you're putting the wrong foods in your body, it can still work on inhibiting your health. It can cause inflammation. It can drive chronic disease. So we have to look at the nutrition essential when it comes to getting well. The other essentials are important as well too. They're essential, but these are kind of the first two I feel like we have to work on cleaning up and improving. So we're going to dive into the biggest things with nutrition. So breaking through mental barriers. This is a big part of making the changes because a lot of the things, they really aren't hard, but we just have to work through our mindset. So some of the mental barriers I think are that it's too tough to change the nutrition. You've tried it in the past and you failed. And so you're just discouraged. Or there's just so much information out there that you don't really know where to start. You're just kind of confused as far as like, you hear all these different eating plans and diet plans and so you just don't do anything because you just don't know what to do. So what I'm gonna share today, these are easy changes. They are things that have withstood the test of time. They're health principles that have been around for, hundreds, if not thousands of years, and just getting back to eating the foods that really promote the best health in the body. So when it comes to nutrition, there are 4 things that I'm gonna dive into today. And these would all be considered what's called our max living plan. And we have a core plan and an advanced plan. But these are the 4 changes that across the board, everybody should be making when it comes to their nutrition. So number 1 change is that we have to work on our proteins. You have to replace your conventional protein source with natural protein sources. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through. But number 2 change is your fats. We have to remove bad fats and replace them with healthy, good fats. Number 3 change, sugar and carbohydrates. We have to remove refined carbohydrates and sugars and a lot of the refined grains from our diet as well too. And then change number 4 is to make sure that we're eating a variety of fruits and vegetables daily. So a big myth when it comes to your health is that people think that, well, somehow I have to work on with nutrition, counting calories. And that is a myth. Calories truly don't really matter. You have to look at quality over quantity. So an example with this slide is like, 22 almonds are 153 calories, but 1 Twinkie is 150 calories. So even though the Twinkie has less calories, obviously the almonds are a natural food. They're not processed. So your body is able to utilize those calories to effectively burn them or to build them into muscle tissue. But the problem with the Twinkie is that it's not a real food. It's highly processed. So your body, when you eat that, doesn't even recognize it as food, and it ends up storing it as toxins and storing it into your fat cells. So it's quality over quantity. That's the number 1 idea, is that you have to eat high quality foods because it's not the calories that you're paying attention to. You're really looking at the ingredients and you're looking at the quality of the foods as well. So second thing here is that myth is that fat causes heart disease, cancer, osteoporosis, and kidney disease. And in general, meat and the fat in meats can be very beneficial for your body. 4 out of the 5 blue zones across the world. The blue zones are the areas of the world that have the healthiest people, the areas that have the least amount of heart disease and cancer, people that on average live into their 90s and beyond with great quality of life. 4 out of 5 of those blue zones, they eat meat. So there is a rule when it comes to meat, is that you have to work on eating the right quality of meat. But meat in general, that is a good source of many nutrients, many things in your diet. So we don't want to avoid all meat, but with animal products, here's a big change, is that you have to clean up the products. So 4 big things with your meat products is that try to go 100% grass-fed when it comes to beef or lamb. And when you eat grass-fed beef, it has higher ratios of omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids are anti-inflammatory. They're gonna help fight any of the itises in your body. So anti-inflammatory is 100% grass-fed. It has more omega-3s than omega-6s. Most conventional meat is loaded with omega-6s, which when they become out of balance, that ratio, then the meat actually becomes inflammatory and can cause disease. When it comes to chicken, it's important to make sure that you're buying pasture-raised chicken, and that you do want it to be organic as well. And then your fish, you want it to be wild caught, not farm raised. One of the craziest things I've heard with fish is that most farm-raised fish is they feed it pretty much like a dog food mixture. And farm-raised salmon that you see in the store, when you look at that and it's like a nice pink or red color, that actually comes from dye that they put in their food that makes that meat look that way. So you want to make sure with your fish, you're buying wild-caught fish from the ocean, or you're kind of not going the route of the farm-raised fish. And then with your dairy, you really want to make sure you're doing organic grass-fed dairy and getting away from the conventional dairy. So those are kind of 4 big changes with your animal products that you want to work on improving. This slide just talks about the difference between the grass-fed versus the grain-fed. So if you look at this, grain-fed beef actually has, I'll go into that slide here, higher amounts of omega-6s. It's inflammatory. They feed the animals grains to fatten them up and to get them to market sooner. But meanwhile, cows were never really meant to eat grain. They're meant to eat grass. So when you feed a cow a bunch of grains that are sprayed with pesticides and herbicides and their GMO grains, then all those toxins are going to accumulate into their body and their muscle tissue. So when you eat that meat, you're actually eating all the toxins. You're eating everything that they ate, and it's not a good thing for the body. Grass-fed beef, they roam free on pasture and eat only grass. They're leaner and juicier, and the meat actually tastes better. That's the awesome thing about the meat, is that when you switch to these higher quality meats that are raised kind of the way God intended, nature intended, they taste better. So it's a no-brainer to make these switches. They're higher in omega-3s, B vitamins, and beta carotene. They're rich in what's called conjugated linoleic acid, or CLA, which helps to improve your metabolism and your immunity. And they're higher in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. So you look at that last little chart over there, that shows you where the grain-fed beef versus the grass-fed. So grain-fed is so much higher in omega-6s and very low in omega-3s, the green one, which makes it inflammatory. When you eat that, it's going to create inflammation. When you look at grass-fed beef, you see the ratio is about 2-to-1, which is the ratio that it should be. And then you look at deer and elk and other, wild game as well too. Much better options for your health. So I love this quote on this slide. It talks about food is medicine, but processed food is poison. And there is no medicine that can undo the damage of processed food. That's from Dr. Robert Lustig. And linoleic acid, which is LA, makes up the bulk, about 60 to 80% of the omega-6s, which is the primary contributor to nearly all chronic disease. So while considering an essential fat, that omega-6s, when consumed in excessive amounts, linoleic acid acts as a metabolic poison. So animals typically develop cancer once their linoleic acid in their diet reaches 4 to 10% of their energy intake. So these linoleic acids are actually very inflammatory. They're very harmful compounds for the body. And over the last 150 years, these linoleic acids in the human diets have increased from 2 to 3 grams a day to 30 to 40 grams a day. And they now make up about 15 to 20% of the human diet, which can be a reason why we're seeing just chronic disease, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, arthritis, Alzheimer's disease. These diseases are just skyrocketing. And the top sources of linoleic acid, kind of this poison into your diet, is going to be vegetable oils, processed foods, tortilla chips, crackers, potato chips, French fries, commercial salad dressings, fast food is a big one, and conventional meats. So these are why we got to work on eliminating, most of these things out of our diet that are loaded with this fat called linoleic acid that's very inflammatory. So bad fats versus good fats. So the bad fats are going to be your hydrogenated and partially hydrogenated oils, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, vegetable oil, canola oil. And these are the oils that I think a lot of people don't necessarily have like a jar of cottonseed oil or soybean oil that they're cooking with in their kitchen. But you may have canola oil, and that's not a good oil. It's a bad fat. But these are the things that are found in practically every, boxed food. It's found in bread. It's found in crackers, cookies. So that's where you're getting a lot of these bad fats is in your packaged foods. Your good fats are the ones that are not altered by man. So extra virgin olive oil is a good fat. You want to make sure that it is that it's cold processed, and you really want to buy a high quality extra virgin olive oil that has a harvest date, almost like a bottle of wine that has a date that when it was bottled. Good quality olive oils will have a date that it was harvested, and that ensures that it's not been on the shelf for years. It's not turned rancid. It's fresh. Avocados and avocado oils are great fats. You can actually buy a lot of crackers or chips that are cooked in avocado oil, and that's a much better thing than to get chips that are cooked in soybean oil or cottonseed oil. So that's something to watch out for. Coconut oil and coconut products are sources of great, good fats, coconut milk, coconut flakes, and then raw nut butters, seeds, and oils, things like almond butter, cashew butter, just raw nuts and seeds in general are good for the body. Real butter, raw is best. It's hard to find raw butter. So my thing with butter is I look for the grass-fed, and then I look for the grass-fed, and then I look for the organic butter. Raw cheese and yogurt, you can find that. One good brand is Organic Valley, but my thing with cheese is I make sure that it's organic, preferably raw, and preferably full fat. Same thing with yogurt. And then grass-fed meats, eggs and whole milks, fatty fish, like wild caught salmon, small fish, even things like sardines. In general, I'm going to tell you that fish is good. A lot of cultures eat fish. You just want to make sure it's wild caught fish, not farm raised is the big one when it comes to fish. So healthy fats. Healthy fats are nothing to be afraid of. You want to make sure that you're having these good fats in your body. So good fats actually help build up your cell membranes. Every cell in our body is made up of a double layer of fat. So if you're not eating enough good fat in your diet, then your cells are not going to function properly. Healthy fats help you absorb minerals. They help to protect your body. They lower inflammation, which is a driver of most disease in the body. And then it makes up 70% of your brain tissue. That's crazy. 70% of our brain is fatty tissue. So I talk to a lot of patients that feel like I have brain fog, I can't focus. A lot of older patients that are, having issues with memory. Well, a lot of it is your brain is starved for these healthy fats. And then, so these just show you some good examples on the side of your hemp seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds. Those are good sources of healthy fats. Raw nuts, coconut milk, oil, coconut flour, coconut chips, avocados, olives, a great source of healthy fats. Grass-fed beef, organic grass-fed butter, and then things like wild-caught salmon. These are going to be kind of your powerhouses when it comes to good healthy fats. Your top 5 foods to avoid. So these are the real bad ones that we want to work on eliminating out of our diet. So conventional animal products, we already kind of talked about that, but you do want to work on switching over to buying the higher quality meat. Sugar and high fructose corn syrup. They're the number one risk factor for diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and cancer are these sugar and high fructose corn syrup. And the average American ingests 53 teaspoons of sugar a day. So it's added to a lot of our foods. Most people just aren't eating sugar. It's in the foods that we're eating. Sugar substitutes, watch out for these things like aspartame, which is the NutraSweet, the Equal, Sweet and Low. These are the purple, pink, blue packets. Those are toxic. You want to avoid those. Artificial sweeteners have been linked to brain tumors, seizures, autoimmune disorders, MS, headaches, and then damaged man-made oils like canola oil, vegetable oil, cottonseed oil, margarine. The way you got to see if you're eating these is you got to look at the ingredients in your foods and you got to flip it over and read it. And if you see canola oil, soybean oil, cottonseed oil, then you got to throw that product away and buy a better version that doesn't have that. And then refined grains, they've been stripped of all their vital nutrients and fiber. So it pretty much, these refined grains, your white flours, white breads, white pastas, they pretty much turn to sugar as soon as you eat them. And they're highly addictive and they result in overeating and ultimately weight gain and driving health issues. So this is my picture of kind of the worst of the worst things. So you look at this, if you're drinking pop, it has to go. Pop is not something that people that are trying to get healthy should be drinking. Your sweets, you got to really kick that sweet tooth and get away from eating candies and cookies. Your light and fit yogurts, your low-fat yogurts, your flavored yogurts are sugar bombs. So they are gonna either they're sugar bombs, they have more sugar than ice cream, or they have the artificial sweeteners, which are toxic. So plain yogurt, but get away from the light yogurts, the low-fat yogurts, the flavored yogurts. Fast food, it has to go. I have not eaten at a fast food place for, it's probably been 15 years, I think. And my kids have never eaten McDonald's. They've never eaten at these places. So they're the worst of the worst. They're going to make you sick and make your body feel like crap. Your tub butters. These are things that just switch to regular butter. It's way better for you. These butters are loaded with those bad fats, those linoleic acid oils that drive inflammation. Low-fat dairy products in general, you want to switch to full fat. And then avoiding the things like cereal, breads, white breads, coffee drinks are sugar bombs. The average coffee drink can have over 50 grams of sugar, more than a Coke or a Pepsi. And then these coffee creamers, I know that those are things that a lot of people hold on to and still use, and they have bad oils, the inflammatory oils, they have the artificial sweeteners, and they have sugar, colorings, flavorings. They're one of the worst things possible to be, put in your coffee every day and drinking that stuff. So sugar is the silent killer. It leads to weight gain, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, depression, low energy, fatty liver. It's going to age your skin, age your joints, and it leads to, skin issues, acne, wrinkles. It breaks down your collagen, which leads to arthritis. So how many reasons do we need to avoid sugar? We need a lot of them because sugar is highly addictive. It's more addictive than even cocaine. So we have to kind of break these sugar addictions. Sugar also breaks down the collagen. I think a picture's worth 1,000 words here, to where you look at the skin and you look at the joints. Sugar actually breaks down your elastin and your collagen molecules, therefore causing your skin to sag and breaking down your joints. So if you want to feel like crap and you want to have wrinkles and you want to age quicker and you want your joints to break down, then go ahead and keep eating sugar. But if you want to reverse these things and build up your body, then you got it. The sugar has to go out of your diet. Okay, so we're going to go into the things that kind of turn to sugar quickly. So cut out sugar, but you also the things that turn to sugar. So that's going to be breads, pastas, crackers, cookies, cereals, and sauces. These are notorious for having hidden sugars, or they turn to sugar quickly. Packaged foods, box foods, things that come out of a box or a bag, and avoid artificial sweeteners. So enough of what we can't eat. Now we're going to focus on what we can eat. These are the great things for our body. So 10 superfoods to be really adding to your diet. Wild caught fish, great for your health. High in omega-3s, high in calcium, high in protein, high in selenium. Helps regulate your blood sugar, helps improve your heart function, helps prevent disease. So cold water fish are ideal, and wild caught. Broccoli, superfood. It's an amazing vegetable, especially for women, because high levels of antioxidants that has a positive effect on our estrogen. Also, it's high in vitamin C, and it can challenge that of even citrus. And then it contains a compound called sulforaphane, which helps to fight carcinogens and helps with detoxing our body. Nuts are a superfood. Just make sure you're eating raw nuts. You don't want to eat nuts that are roasted and toasted and coated in crap. You want to eat the raw nuts. And then berries are wonderful. They're one of the highest sources of antioxidants. They help fight inflammation. They have a low glycemic index, meaning they're one of the lowest sugar fruits. So that's good for our body as well. Good for brain health, good for fighting cancer. So adding in your berries, free range eggs or pasture raised eggs, great source of healthy fat. They're great for your body. Eggs are wonderful. I recommend eating the whole egg, the yolk and the egg white. Do not just do egg whites. There's lots of beneficial things in the egg yolk. Coconut products are wonderful. They're a great source of healthy fats. And we want to make sure that we're adding these good coconut products into our diet. Olive oil, like I already talked about, that's a great fat. Make sure that you add in that it be cold processed. Avocados, they are high in mono and beta cysterols, and they help to lower cholesterol and prevent heart disease. And also high in fiber. You wouldn't think that, but they are. And greens, kale, spinach, Swiss chard, collard greens, you name it, they're one of the best things for your body. They're high in vitamin A, C, and K, beta carotene, fiber, even protein. So adding in your good greens to your diet. And grass-fed beef. It has 60% more omega-3s than grain-fed beef, and it's high in B12, monosaturated fat, and zinc comes from grass-fed beef as well too. So these are the big foods that help to nourish and protect your bodies. These should become staples of your diet. At the very top, guys, this is this should be what we're eating most of the time, fruits and vegetables. Strawberries, oranges, lemons, blackberries, limes, raspberries, pears, apples, blueberries, any type of berry is wonderful. Vegetables, things like broccoli, cabbage, bell peppers, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, garlic, cucumbers, onions. This is not a full list, but all these things are beneficial for the body. But really, fruits and vegetables in general, they're going to be your healthier things. Raw or sprouted nuts, these are good for your body. Cashews, pecans, pistachios, macadamia nuts, walnuts are wonderful, high on omega-3s, Brazil nuts. Seeds, you look at the list of seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, great for your body. Legumes, things like black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, lima beans, chickpeas, lentils, wonderful too. The only caution on that is if you're trying to lose weight, eating a bunch of beans, they are more starchy, so they can kind of inhibit some of that weight loss, but still way better than the junky processed foods. If you're going to do grains, do whole grains, things like quinoa, barley, buckwheat, millet, and brown rice. Healthy fats, we've kind of hit that list already. Dairy products, goat milk is good too, goat cheese, probiotic yogurt, raw milk, if you can find it. If not, at least organic whole milk. Grass-fed meats, venison, lamb, wild game, your fish, and that's a list of the fish there, poultry, cage-free eggs, and then condiments like hummus, guacamole, apple cider vinegar, mustard, salsa, balsamic, liquid aminos, not ketchup. You can buy brands of ketchup that don't have sugar, but most ketchup has added sugar or high fructose corn syrup. Natural sweeteners like honey, maple syrup, dates, using plant-based sweeteners like stevia or monk fruit. And then beverages, water should be the main thing, tea, kombucha, bone broth. Those would be beneficial things for your, foods that help to nourish our body as well. So we're going into sweeteners. Sugar's bad. What can I use? Natural sweeteners like monk fruit, allulose syrup, erythritol. These are kind of your low sugar sweeteners to where they're not going to spike up your blood sugar. A lot of your cleaned up, healthier versions of crackers and cookies and different things, they'll use these type of sweeteners. Dates are actually loaded with lots of minerals and vitamins, and they're sweet. I like to just sometimes snack on dates. If I have a little bit of a sugar tooth, I'll grab a date and grab some dark chocolate, and that'll be kind of my treat with that. Here's good options for better things. So just dark chocolate, you want it to be at least 75% dark chocolate. You see the butter where it says pasture, cultured butter, organic, almond milk, coconut milk, organic almond milk, coconut milk. I use those things to make smoothies with, or I'll put them in coffee. Your plain yogurt, that grass milk, 100% grass-fed, no grain, plain, full-fat yogurt. So that's the big things, is that it be whole milk, organic, plain, no sugar added, 100% grass-fed. Grass-fed beef, Simple Mills brand is a good brand. Simple Mills has crackers, cookies, pizza dough, even cake mixes, and they use a lot of almond flour. So they're a better option. Berries, your vegetables. If you're gonna do coffee, just do like an organic half and half. Kombucha is a good drink. It's a fermented tea beverage and it has good probiotic. Green teas, make your smoothies. You can do fresh vegetable juicing if you have a juicer, and then make sure you clean up your coffee and buy a good quality organic coffee as well. So one of the things I like to do, this is one of my nutrition hacks, is a smoothie. It's one of the easiest meals of the day, quickest meals, but you can pack in the most nutrients in there. And you can make a smoothie in less than 60 seconds. So there's no excuse. Everybody has time for that. This is my go-to smoothie recipe. I do unsweetened coconut milk or almond milk, about 1 cup. I'll do fresh berries or frozen berries. Most time I do frozen berries. A handful or two of spinach or kale, And then I'll put the Max Living protein powder, either the whey protein, the bone broth protein. I don't use the plant protein too much, but if you're trying to avoid animal products, you can use plant protein. And then add in ice and water and blend it up. And it's delicious. And a great way to kind of get in fresh vegetables, fresh berries or frozen berries, your good healthy fats, your good protein, all in one nice drink. So I do smoothies a lot. I do them for either breakfast or I'll make a lunch smoothie, and I make them for the whole family. So this is a better idea of what your food pyramid should look like. At the bottom is clean water. That should be the base of all of our diets, is lots of water. They say you should drink about half of your body weight in ounces of water a day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, then you would do 75 ounces of water a day. Vegetables should be the next foundation. And then your naturally raised animal products, healthy fats, low glycemic fruits, berries and Granny Smith apples and citrus, nuts and seeds. Then you'd want to do things like spices or your natural sweeteners. That would be advanced plan. That's a plan that's going to really help you aid in weight loss, reversing disease. And you're really kind of trying to go grain free, where you're not eating even healthy grains. You're trying to just go completely grain free. And your diet consists of kind of these things here. The core plan is where, you're just kind of maintaining your health and you want to clean things up. Then you can still have your sprouted whole grains, fruits, root vegetables, and natural sweeteners in there as well too. But in general, this is kind of what you want your main kind of eating pyramid, food pyramid to be looking like. So a common belief is that I don't need to take supplements because I get my adequate nutrition from diet alone. And that, though diet is number one, the most important, if you cannot get all your vitamins and minerals from our food today. Our food has just been so depleted of nutrients from, not the best farming practices. So we have to supplement to really build up better health. And you want to make sure you're doing high quality, pure supplements, and want to make sure that they are good stuff. I think with supplements, you can be either wasting your money or you can really be helping to build up your body. But most supplements that you're going to find at Kroger, Walmart, GNC, Meijer, they are poor quality. And I take our Max Living supplements. They're one of the highest quality supplements out there. And as a provider for patients, a doctor, I can get a provider discount for any line of supplements out there. But what I take and what my family takes are our Max Living supplements. So essentials for men or women, these are what I take. These are what I encourage most of my patients to get started on, is the daily essentials for either men or women. And in the daily essentials, you're going to have a men's or women's multivitamin. This is a high quality, whole food based multivitamin. And it's going to kind of cover your comprehensive things that most everybody needs when it comes to a multivitamin. It also has a B complex. So B vitamins are critical for energy. They're critical for brain function, for many things in the body. So your multi-packs also have an additional high dose B complex. Omega-3, Optimal Omega, it has omega-3, ALA, EPA, DHA, and GLA, and it's made from flaxseed, Pacific fish, and borage oil. And omega-3s are essential for the body, and most of us just aren't eating enough like fatty fish. So having that daily omega-3 in your supplements is key. And then magnesium. Magnesium is key for over 300 reactions in the body. So magnesium is a thing that most people are deficient in because we just don't get a lot of it from our diet. So your multi-packs also have magnesium, and they have vitamin D3, one capsule being 5,000 IUs of high quality D3 with probiotic. that helps your body absorb it better as well too. So those essential packs are something I recommend get to taken. You want to make sure your body has the building blocks it needs to function properly. I think of it like a chef. You could have the best chef in the world, but if he doesn't have the right ingredients, then he can't make a beautiful meal. But if you have the right ingredients, or if our body has the right building blocks, the right ingredients, then it can heal, it can undo disease, it can work on getting healthier. For your protein, I love our protein powders. These are what I make the smoothies with. The bone broth protein is wonderful. Bone broth is good for your joints. It's good for your gut health. And it's delicious. The whey protein is wonderful as well too. And then if you're trying to avoid animal products, we have a really high quality plant protein too. So just an idea of what this looks like to clean up the eating. Day one is a smoothie. So you could do a smoothie for your breakfast. You could do a big salad with a healthy dressing. You could do veggies with a healthy homemade ranch dip, and then a clean protein with vegetables. Day two, organic eggs, a chia seed pudding, veggies and guacamole, and clean protein with roasted veggies. A smoothie, a Granny Smith apple with almond butter, veggies with some hummus, and then you could do your clean protein with mashed cauliflower for dinner. So a lot of these recipes, they may be in your recipe books that you got. You can find them on our website as well. But it's not hard to kind of clean up this eating. And this is an example of kind of what you could be eating on a daily basis. So general tips here is make sure you establish your big why. Start thinking of your food as fuel and sustenance and, live to eat. No, it should be we eat to live. Add more healthy, nutrient-dense options. Slowly take away the unhealthy options. Spend time planning, grocery shopping, and meal prepping. Keep a food journal. If you guys are wanting to dive into this nutrition thing and you feel like you're kind of lost and don't know where to start, a great thing to do is keep like a 3-day food journal and bring that into us at the office. And myself or Emily, we can review that with you and just kind of look at what your pitfalls are, give you some good ideas of better replacements, and then allow vacation meals or days where you clean it up really well for the majority of the time, but allow yourself that vacation, that cheat meal where you have that thing that you've been craving, eat it guilt-free, and then get right back on track with your diet. So to recap on our nutrition changes, curb your carbs, really reduce the carbs, fix your fats, clean up your fats from bad fats to good fats, replace your quality proteins, make sure that you're eating the high quality proteins, add in your vegetables and fruits. That should be the main staple of your diet. I like to make that smoothie. It's the easiest and best meal of the day, and then support your nutrition with those essential supplements as well. So I encourage you guys, if you need resources, you can go to our website, drbenson.maxliving.com. And we have tons of, recipes on there, tons of things when it comes to cleaning up the diet, articles, and we can give you guys a lot of these, resources as well too. But I hope you watch this video, take action on what you learned, just work on maybe 1, 2, 3 things to work on cleaning up, and then you'll be on your way. But this is essential. You can't expect your body to feel better and to be healthier if you're not addressing nutrition. So thank you guys.